Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name's Miss Grillo. Today you're going to be learning about pedestrian safety, which it's a perfect time to learn about it because the weather is starting to get a lot nicer. You're going to be riding your bikes, running or walking with friends down the street. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me something they think of when they hear the word pedestrian? Does anybody know what that means?
That's like a person.
Yeah, a person on the road, walking, riding their bike, anybody that's outside in traffic that's not a driver. Okay, just some statistics about pedestrians. In 2015, there were 3,672 pedestrian crashes. That means someone on their bike or walking was hit by a car. Between 2011 and 2015, there were 631 fatal crashes. Does anybody know what the word fatal means? Yeah.
Deadly.
Deadly, yeah. So, unfortunately, the person who was walking or on their bike did pass away. So, today we're going to learn how to be safe while walking or riding our bikes and hopefully prevent or decrease the number of fatalities and accidents that happen. So, some words to know with this unit. Pedestrian, which we just talked about, is a person walking along the road. Yield, that just means that you should stop, make sure you look, and then right of way. Pedestrians always have the right of way, but you need to make sure that you're in the right spot. You just don't go right across the street without looking. So we do have the right of way. Cars should stop, but you want to make sure that you know that they're there. Okay, some things of how to be a good pedestrian. Kind of what we just talked about. You always want to be alert. Keep your eyes on the road, looking for the cars, make eye contact with the drivers, walk on sidewalks or paths that are designated for walking. If there are none, obviously you have to walk on the side of the road, but be safe while doing it. And then the biggest thing, I want you to look at the lowest bullet. Nowadays, everybody loves to be on their phones. We constantly see people walking and they're looking down at their phone. Just make sure if you're going to look at your phone when you're walking on the street that you get out of the street, stop, and are in a safe spot to walk on your phone. Pedestrian error confusion contributes to 37% of all fatal injuries. That means the driver and the pedestrian didn't make eye contact, didn't notice each other. So as long as the driver sees you and you see the driver, you should be all set. Okay. Some signs, obviously, you guys are all familiar with, but the walk, if you see the white person or the white walk sign, you are clear to walk. Still double check, make sure no cars are coming, and then you should see a hand that says stop. Another thing you might see is the numbers counting down, 10, 9. That means you only have that many seconds left to cross the road. If it says 1, is it a good idea to cross the road? No. So make sure you're being smart and staying safe on the road. Okay, so another example of a sign that you might see is the rectangular rapid flashing beacon. This just shows cars that this could be an area that people are going to be crossing the road. They should be aware and keep out. If they see someone, that means they need to stop. This is normally seen maybe in front of schools, playgrounds, churches, an area that would have a lot of kids. So that's what that sign means. Next one. Our next one is a hawk sign. Those are actually lights. If it is red, the driver must stop. Means pedestrians are crossing. So a little different from the first one. At the first one, the driver doesn't have to stop unless there is someone crossing. These, if they're red, you need to stop even if you don't see someone. That can mean that someone is still crossing. Okay, pedestrian signs. Only cross the street using a crosswalk. Does anybody know what it's called if you cross the street not using a crosswalk at an intersection? Yeah. Jaywalking. And actually you can get a ticket for jaywalking by a policeman, but they usually don't stop people because that's such a little offense. But it is illegal. You're supposed to use a crosswalk when you do cross the street. So make sure if there is one, you are using it. It ensures your safety and the driver's safety. Okay, so here's two pictures, one of walkers and one of someone riding their bike. can anybody spot a difference? Yeah.
There's someone walking in the middle of the road while another person's in the correct place to ride their bike.
Okay. What can you tell about the cars to the person and the person with the bike in the car?
The car with the person riding is over to the furthest away from them, and the one they're walking is really close to them.
Okay, yeah, so the cars could be close. The answer that I'm looking for is when you're riding your bike, you want to ride with traffic. So in this picture right here, they're riding the same direction as the cars are because your bike is considered a vehicle. So if you're on a road and not a sidewalk, you should be riding with traffic. So that's the biker riding the same direction. When you walk, if you're walking your dog, walking down the street with friends, yes, she might be in the middle of the road a little bit. Try to stay to the edge, but they're walking opposite traffic. So the cars can see them and move over like this truck has done. So if you're riding, you ride with the traffic in the same direction. When you walk on the opposite side. Rider safety, these are just some pictures. Has anybody used bike signs before when they've ridden their bike? No? That one reason could be you just weren't familiar with them or you've forgotten them. So here's a picture of all the signs when you're riding your bike. This lets either bikers behind you or all the cars behind you know which way you're going. So if you were turning left, you stick your arm out to the left as in the picture. Turning right, you put your right hand up. And then another way to right hand turn would be your right arm. And stopping is your arm bent down. So take a second, look those over. Maybe those will help you when you're riding your bike this spring and this summer. And they can help the cars around you to ensure safety so they know where you're going. Okay, just a little rider safety continued. Obviously, always wear a helmet. It protects your head. Ride with traffic. When riding with friends, if you're on you have multiple friends all on bikes, you're not going to ride next to each other because you're going to take up the whole lane. You ride one behind the other so that you're not in the way of the cars. And make sure you're using your hand signals when you stop or turn. Walker safety. Make sure you're always alert, making that eye contact with drivers, walking on the right side of the road, and using the crosswalks when necessary. Big important thing when you ride your bike, walk, or anytime you're out in the dark, you need to wear light colored clothing or reflective wear. On your bikes, you have the reflective plastic, glass looking things that go near your wheels. That is so people can see you. You also wear reflective clothing or light clothing. If you wear dark clothing, it's harder for the driver to see you, and that could result in one of those fatal accidents that were in the statistics. So just be aware, always think when you're out on the road, you want to make the safest decisions. Okay, so lastly, just follow these rules and you'll prevent injuries and ensure your safety. Are there any questions about pedestrian safety or anything? Awesome. Good job today, guys. Have a great day.